South Jamaica, baby, they made me to be the greatest. Serving the deed of my creators, fresh off of my high haters. It's the king again, Magdalene, chauffeured, bragging and boasting.
Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy Dollars. Welcome back to the channel. It's another day, another dollar video, and I'm going to be reacting to the stunning proof of extinct giants, ancient aliens on the History YouTube channel. Now, the last video I did regarding this topic was about the TikToker and Andrew Dawson, I believe his name was, who apparently filmed a giant on top of a mountain and went mysteriously missing. And then it came out that he had died under suspicious circumstances. Now, there's people saying that that was a hoax. I mean, there's a lot of conflicting evidence and conflicting, there's a lot of conflicting things with that story. I don't know if he's dead. I don't know if he's alive. I don't know if it was a hoax. But listen, one thing I know for sure is that the Bible does speak about giants in the world, right? Apparently, there was giants before the flood of Noah. And if you guys read the Bible correctly, it also said after. So there's giants in the world. There's been evidence of researchers finding bones that belong to giants, right? I know the story of the U.S. troops in Iraq that ended up supposedly finding a giant. They ended up killing it. And I'll probably react to a video. If there's any videos about that, I will react to it because I know there are videos about that situation now. There's a lot of things about this world that people don't realize exist. They can't comprehend it. But listen, if you guys even pay attention, if y'all know about CERN, right? There's a research facility. I forgot where CERN is located. Is it Sweden or somewhere in Europe? CERN is located where they have been opening portals, and these so-called researchers, scientists have spoken to entities, right? So these are scientists saying this shit, by the way. So if there's things like that that's capable, then that shows you there's a lot of things that is capable in this world that people just don't realize or comprehend, bro. Like magic. People think magic is fake. No, magic is real. Witchcraft is real. Like, this is all stuff that is real that the Bible talks about. Now, I'm not going to go deep on that. Let's check this video out. All right.
Harvard
Y'all can do your own research on that stuff. But that shit exists.
In a groundbreaking genetic study published in the journal Nature, Harvard researchers announced a stunning discovery about ancient human DNA. It reveals that immediately after Stonehenge was built, the people who built it, the ancient inhabitants of Britain, suddenly and almost totally vanished from the British Isles. They left behind virtually no DNA in the modern British population.
What the 2018 study suggests is that the genetic signature of the Neolithic inhabitants of the British Isles, it vanishes shortly after the period in which they built Stonehenge.
So where did it go?
It's largely replaced by an entirely new human culture in a very short amount of time.
The Harvard study is an absolute bombshell. An entire civilization just disappears without a trace, vanishes into thin air. It's easily the most surprising and most shocking conclusion you can imagine.
The study used a revolutionary new technique that samples DNA from ancient human bones and then compares it to the DNA of modern people in the same place. Scientists then determine what percentage of the modern population is descended from the ancient group.
So the new genetic data are really providing an example of population.
And just so y'all know, none of this shit makes sense to me. I don't know how DNA sequencing works, genes, none of that shit. So, maybe this is something I got to do a little bit more research into.
Replacement, in which
like Neolithic, none of that shit. I don't understand.
One population is almost entirely replaced in a relatively short amount of time by the genetic signature that characterizes another population.
Like, how far back does that go? Like Anglo-Saxon
of the Stonehenge builders remains a profound historical mystery. Might it point to a deliberate cleansing of the human genetic line, as ancient astronaut theorists and the flood myths found worldwide suggest? Perhaps further evidence of this can be found with the recent discovery of a confounding genetic lineage that is proven nearly impossible to trace. Emory University, Atlanta, Georgia, 1998. Researchers analyzed DNA data collected from various Native American populations in an effort to trace back their ancestral descent through the Bering Strait. The lineages are categorized into 4 haplogroups, A, B, C, or D, each line representing a different migration off the Asian continent between 20 to 30,000 years ago.
What?
But what
Wait a minute. Are they saying that Indians from America migrated to Europe?
they also find is that a small portion of the native population falls completely outside any previously known genetic group. They can trace the ancestry back 36,000 years, but not to the Bering Strait. Scientists dub it the X lineage.
Among human haplogroups, one stands out, the X lineage, which is found in about 2.5% of some Native American groups, and also in a small population of Northern Europeans and the Middle East. And there is no connection between these groups. We couldn't understand why they're so different, these X haplogroups.
Isn't it amazing that you have a group of people, indigenous, we think, to this planet, and you really can't trace what their ancestry was? Scientists throw up.
I mean, if they are from America, how are you going to be able to trace it from anything else? Like, they were in America. My belief is they have been in America, the continent of America, South America, for thousands of years before, you know, these explorers came over here and brought other people over here. So how are you going to trace their DNA to anything from, you know, Europe or ancient Europe, or I don't know, bro. Like, y'all let me know y'all theories on this shit.
Their hands, and they simply say, I don't know how this can be.
Where are the giants, though? That's all I care about.
Aren't somehow related to these people. How can this be?
While the source of this X lineage remains a mystery, some ancient astronaut theorists believe it might be connected to a lost race of people that were said to have existed throughout the world, including North America.
It's possible that this X lineage gene is related to the giants that were reported throughout the world.
And for anybody that don't believe that giants existed or don't believe that the Bible is real, bro, the Bible isn't the only source that talks about giants, bro. There's ancient civilizations that have mentioned giants, not just the Bible. So that's something that you people that don't believe it have to wrap your head around. Why have so many civilizations talked about giants existing?
Starting in the mid 1800s in America, archaeologists began excavating skeletons of giants who
There
were
you go.
7 to 8 feet tall in many cases.
Wow.
In the 1800s, Smithsonian archaeologists unearthed dozens of oversized skeletons contained within the burial mounds of the ancient Adena Indian tribe. The highest concentration of which were found in the Kanawha Valley of West Virginia, an area known to researchers as the Valley of the Giants.
Wow. See, I didn't even know that.
Author and researcher William Henry is meeting up with a local Adena Indian researcher, Jason J.
I want to know what was the biggest skeleton they found from a giant. Like, right now they're only saying, 7 feet, 8 feet. I'm pretty sure there was bigger giants than that, bro. Even the Bible says the Bible describes their exact height too. Like, I'm not 100% specific with it. Like, I don't know, but I remember reading that they have a certain height.
Gerald to have a look at one of
Tall
these
as trees or some
earthworks.
shit.
This is the Creel Mound, and this mound was excavated by the Smithsonian Institution in November of 1883. The Smithsonian sank a circular shaft from the top of this mound down through the center to the bottom. Wow. And that's where they found an elaborate tomb.
A tomb?
This structure contained 11 burials. 10 of these burials were arranged in a semicircular fashion around a central personage.
Holy.
10 people around a central figure. What was significant about this central figure? According to A.R. Signs, who assisted in the excavation of this mound, the central burial, when measured in the tomb, was 6'8" 3/4. Now, the skull had been pulverized by the excavation, so a complete measurement wasn't possible. So in all likelihood, this individual was probably around 7 feet tall.
That's a giant.
It's a gigantic humanoid.
So we're saying the Smithsonian came here in 1883 and discovered a giant.
That's correct. In fact, they discovered giants in many of the mounds here in Charleston. There were originally 50 burial mounds in this valley.
Wow.
And I've actually got some documentation here to show you.
Let's see.
This is the manuscript of the agent of the Smithsonian who excavated these mounds, and this represents his day-to-day journal of his excavations, including the one that's mentioned on this page, which is measured as 7 foot 6 inches in length.
Incredible.
7 foot 6 feet. See, look, one thing about the History Channel, bro, they're gonna give you some truth, but they're not gonna give you the full truth, bro. You gotta realize all of this information is regulated. They will allow for some things to go through and some stuff to reach people, but they're not gonna give you the full scope, the full story. So you gotta keep that in mind with stuff like this.
So wait a minute, this is a government worker who's out doing a job, excavating a mound, and he discovers giants.
And that's his
Multiple
journal.
Gigantic skeletons, the ones in this valley being between 7 and 8 feet tall.
That is incredible. So why don't we all know about it? How come it's not in history books?
Well, the policy of denial of the discovery of gigantic human skeletons actually wasn't enacted until about 1920. Before that time period, the Smithsonian acknowledged these giants in their own reports.
Absolutely amazing.
It doesn't surprise me. The government is always suppressing the
For years,
truth,
I've been
bro.
doing stories, Native
They think they know
American
best.
legends about giants. It appears that we've unearthed evidence, proof of their existence here in West Virginia. But for whatever reason, that proof was suppressed. Probably
We
has
know
to do with
why.
The fact that it doesn't fit with our model of human evolution. We have to ask.
No,
Is
it's
there-
because it doesn't, you know why? Because it's going to validate the Bible. That's why they don't want that shit to be known, bro. If so many people know the truth and that shit is validating what the Bible says, then that's going to wake more people up to the truth. And it's going to save more souls, but they don't want that, man. They want that evolution theory bullshit. I don't believe in evolution, bro. I'm sorry. That's my opinion. You know what I'm saying? YouTube, I don't want them to mess with the channel or the video. That's just an opinion. I don't believe it, you know?
An extraterrestrial connection.
You have these biblical stories of the Watchers and the sons
of God.
coming to Earth, breeding with humans to create this new race of giants. Nephilim.
Yes.
These giant skeletons.
They had
seem to
6
be
fingers.
of the Watchers and the Nephilim.
I want them to say how many fingers that skeleton has, man.
We have to ask
6
ourselves
fingers.
who these 7-8 foot giants were. Were they somehow the vestiges of these giants of the Bible? It's a mystery that archaeologists have yet to solve. And part of the answer
Yeah, archaeologists have yet to solve, but Bible believers know what it is already.
may be extraterrestrial DNA.
The truth is
of
out
those
there.
giants.
All right, that was an interesting video, but I thought they were going to dive deeper into the biblical aspect of it, and that's what I was looking forward to. So I'm going to find more videos that is like biblically connected with giants, and, you know, if there's any other topics biblically, oh my God, I can't say it. Any other topics that the Bible talks about, like aliens or stuff like that, that y'all are interested in me doing, then I will do more videos like that. Anyway, it's your boy Dollars. I'm a holla. We're off this.
For my time goes by, they gon' raise a nigga jersey in the sky. Treat a nigga right, big dreaming on my life. Shorty wanna get some air, I go and get up when I fly. Taking off on these niggas, I retire. The minute I catch fire, I smoked them all before, just revisiting the high.